Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Cobalion! Cobalion on team number 1 for my top 5 best teams for the Ultra League, and my goodness, Cobalion is the real deal, and I gotta be honest, I kinda slept on this thing last season, but I am obligated to showcase my own team, so I decided to run it on team number 1, and I was impressed. And also on team number 1 is Cresselia on the safe swap. Still, even in Season 13, the best safe swap option you can possibly run in the Ultra League, and the reason why is because of its immense bulk. It's able to hang in there and perhaps even flip switch in a lot of circumstances, and it is running the Legacy Grass Knot. And also on this team, good old Giratina on the lead for team number 1 for my top 5 best teams for the Ultra League. And I did decide to go Dragon Breath. Guys, I just see far too many normal type leads that come in the form of Pidgeot, of course Obstagoon. Dragon Breath Tina can also do well against Scrafty. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are going to start things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. And here we go. Giratina mirror matchup here. This is a very common lead that you will often see in the Ultra League, and it's pretty even. I think it really does come down to IVs. They are applying super effective fast move pressure, but so are we. But we are running different fast moves, which makes this a very interesting opening matchup here. We're just going to be trading Dragon Claws. That's the way to go. In this current Ultra League, you can see some alternative movesets with an Ancient Power Giratina. I've seen some with Ancient Power and Shadow Sneak, which is insane. But we do take out this Giratina on the lead, and we win lead with our own Giratina, and they've got a Cobalion of their own. So, at this point, they led with their own Giratina. They've got their own Cobalion in the back. I think a reasonable estimation would be that they may have an identical team to our team. Maybe, perhaps, a viewer of the channel maybe caught my top 5 best teams for the Ultra League video, and as we can see, they've got their own Cresselia, so it is confirmed this is a mirror team, perhaps a viewer of the channel. You'd love to see it. So we have to play this carefully, because generally when you're facing an identical team, it's a game of inches, and basically whoever makes the least amount of mistakes will win. That's what it comes down to. Your opponent making more mistakes than you do. That's basically what it comes down to, almost a coin toss. So we're playing this out very carefully, just chipping away slowly but surely at this opposing Cresselia, keeping in mind that if they make a mistake, we can absolutely capitalize and win this narrow game of inches here. They're going to throw one more move. It is a Grass Knot. It does not KO. And there it is. They have made their mistake, my friends. I perhaps panicked a little bit. It's understandable, but they take some big neutral damage on their own Cobalion. And the reason why they made a mistake here is because we can now come in with our own Cobalion and farm this thing down with super effective double kicks. All we have to do is shield up these massively super effective Sacred Swords from this opposing Cobalion. And although this Cresselia has shields, its health is getting quite low. So we're going to put the pressure on them and just bait those final shields here with resisted Sacred Swords. But my goodness, it has stab, hits pretty hard, and is pretty energy efficient. They can go Moonblast all they want. We are quite bulky, guys. Even if you don't have ideal PvP IVs, a lot of these legendaries their stat products are so off the charts that it really doesn't seem to matter that much. And as you can see, we're making mistakes of our own, but it's so late in the battle that it's not going to matter. The reason why is because we could have reached a Stone Edge on that last charge move, and we've got the move here, but we just keep throwing and we win. Oh my gosh. I saw that timer and I kind of panicked myself, guys, so I just kept throwing double kicks. until it was gone and it paid off. We win. Good game, well played. My goodness, what a first battle. My goodness, I gotta say, guys, that was the very first battle of the day with this team. So was working out the kinks, getting the hang of it, and here we go. We had a Trevenant lead. They swapped, assuming that we had Shadow Claw into an Obstagoon, and we meet this with our Cresselia. This is why we've got these two Pokemon in the back to cover the Dark types for Giratina. Although we could do fine with Dragon Breath as well against the Dark types, but if you've got better answers, you might as well bring them in. So we are playing out this matchup here. They are going to go for another Night Slash, but Cresselia is about as bulky as it gets, and even super effective damage just doesn't seem to be enough to take out a Cresselia, guys. My goodness. And we're going to go for another Moonblast and really put the pressure on this Obstagoon. They have to shield this if they want to try and flip this, and they do. It takes 2 Moonblasts to take out an Obstagoon, as Obstagoon is quite bulky and can hang with the best of them. We're actually going to shield this and try and get shields down, knowing that Trevenant does not perform particularly well when it does not have shields. So we're going to either threaten the flip switch to control alignment or take a shield advantage. They choose to go completely down on shields, and we will see if that will pay off for them. We're going to come in and farm this thing all the way down to Funky Town with our Cobalion. I'm telling you guys, I slept on this thing last season. I did not run it at all. But I built this team for my top 5 best teams, and I wanted to give it a try, and my goodness, did this thing impress me. It is so good. It's actually insane how good it is. It was so clutch with its bulk in a lot of these battles. I left the battle with my jaw hanging down in just sheer awe of the power of Cobalion. It was so clutch in so many of these battles, and I did quite well with this team. But we aggro swap back into our Giratina, and they meet us with one of the best answers to a Giratina in the form of Walrein. But guys, you are about to see the power of Giratina, guys. This thing is insane. It's such a monster. It's actually hanging with this Walrein. It's insane. Giratina is so overpowered, and we just go straight Dragon Claw, and these Dragon Breaths are absolutely chunking and shredding this Walrein. This is insane, guys, and you're going to see they undercharge this to try and get some farm off of our Giratina, but Giratina is not quite done. Going to get off one more Dragon Claw, putting that thing quite low. And we tried to snipe with our Cobalion. We're getting quite low as well, so we are going to have to shield this. And my goodness, like I said, Trevenant does not perform well when shields are down. We get to the Stone Edge, and it's going to be more than enough to say bye-bye to the Trevenant. And now we just need one double kick to take out that Walrein. I wasn't sure if this would KO, but guys, this thing hangs on. I'm telling you, this thing was so clutch. We got through that double kick, taking out the Walrein. It hangs on. Cobalion, the real deal. Good game, well played. Oh, team number 1 is so strong. My goodness. If you can save a shield for Cobalion, it can absolutely sweep an endgame. But here we go. Obstagoon lead. This is why we're rolling with Dragon Breath for team number 1. In my video, I said you generally want to go Shadow Claw, and it really depends on what you're seeing a lot of. They are running the terrible Community Day move of Obstruct, which is fine because it allows us to easily swap out to clear this debuff. And we leave this matchup taking very little damage, which is why Obstruct is not a good move. And we swap into our Cresselia to clear the debuff, and they meet us with a Giratina, so this is fine. We only need 2 Moonblasts to take out this Giratina, and if they want to hold on the switch, they're going to have to give up some shields. They can go Shadow Sneak all they want. Shadow Sneak, much like Obstruct, is also not the best move to have, but you gotta work with what you got, and that is optimal for Giratina. And we are going to go for another Moonblast. Really put the pressure on this Giratina, and we are now drawing shields. Oh, you love to see it. And I think here we're actually going to shield because we can make it to another Moonblast and either flip switch or get that shield advantage that we really enjoy having with team number 1. So we're going for this Moonblast. Big decision for our opponent, and we get the shield advantage. So we're going to aggro swap back into our Giratina, and they got a Togekiss in the back. Running the newly nerfed Charm, so it's not quite as OP as it was. A lot of people wondering if it was too much. I say no, it's actually balanced now. It's right where it needs to be as a fast move. And my goodness, Giratina putting in the work on a Togekiss. Holy smokes, getting this thing below 50% health. Gonna come in with our Cobalion. Shields are down. Cresselia did the job in that mid game. We are going to shield a potentially super effective flamethrower, but they're running Aerial Ace. Quite interesting. Gonna go for this Stone Edge. Guys, you know what's up. This is absolutely going to be enough to say bye-bye to the Togekiss. And now Cobalion is going to go on a rampage. It is super healthy. And you've got a Cobalion that has this much health. It can do some insanely amazing things, I found out. I will never sleep on this thing again. It is so good. They throw in the Obstagoon, perhaps trying to catch a Stone Edge. Maybe lost track of the energy, but no, we're saying bye-bye to the Obstagoon. Holy smokes. Cobalion is going on an absolute rampage. This thing is insane. It's so bulky and it has such a good moveset, such amazing coverage. This is not going to cut it, guys, and we are making it to this Stone Edge. Cobalion sweeps yet another endgame. Oh, you love to see it. We are saying bye-bye to the Giratina, and just like that, Cobalion has swept the game, taking it yet another victory. Good game, well played. Had a lot of fun with those bonus battles, guys, but we now move into the featured set of the video, and we are picking up a positive lead. Comes in the form of Shadow Machamp. They aggro swap into a Walrein, and this is why we've got Cresselia running the highly recommended legacy move of Grass Knot for the water coverage, guys. I think you absolutely need Grass Knot. Yes, Future Sight is nice for Talonflame, but you're gonna do a lot better with Grass Knot in the long run. There are a lot of strong water types in this meta, and having the ability to fight back against those just really comes in clutch in most circumstances. So we are playing out this matchup, calling all the baits, no problem. Cresselia tanks damage for days, and we're going for another Grass Knot. They tank that knowing that they can comfortably tank two. In the Ultra League, and we are going to throw this before they can threaten to get off an EQ on us and see what they want to do. They want to shield, which means that they want to get off some big damage, so we're going to shield this and look to farm this thing all the way down, and we correctly shield up the big Earthquake. And now we make an awful mistake here, guys. We are staying in. We should have pivoted back into our Giratina. We are allowing this Trevenant to get way too much farm, guys. And if you just to get off that damage, yeah, that was a big mistake and may come back to bite us in the end here. We now have to shield this because a Shadow Ball basically one-shots a Giratina, which is absolutely insane. And right here, Shadow Claw would have actually been nice because I think that we could have farmed that thing down in time. Instead, we're losing our Giratina, our only remaining answer to that Shadow Machamp. And now our Cobalion is stuck up against a Machamp at a shield disadvantage, which will spell out disaster. This thing hits like a truck, and I was absolutely kicking myself. We threw this game, guys. Once we saw Trevenant, knowing that they had a Machamp in the back, we should have pivoted back into our Giratina because there's no way that they would have gone back into their Machamp, and we let that Trevenant get way too far ahead on energy. And if you give Trevenant an energy lead, it will absolutely terrorize your existence, and we paid for it. Good game, well played to them. Oh, that last one was so winnable, guys. We just zigged when we should have zagged. Probably could have come in with Cobalion on Walrein as well, in hindsight. But here we go. A Brave Soul running nerfed Nidoqueen. Oh, my goodness. Maybe hanging on the glimmers of of the past, but please don't run Nidoqueen. We had a nice little RPS there. They top left. They were not here for that. I don't blame them. Good game, well played. Yeah, guys, please don't run Nerf to Nidoqueen. It's no longer relevant, and we saw it in that previous battle. But here we go, Trevenant lead. This is very close. The Trevenant does have to land a Shadow Ball to successfully take out our Giratina. And we know that, so we're going to shield because they usually go right for that massive Shadow Ball, and we really want to get some more damage in on this Trevenant. We are not overly concerned with winning lead here. But if we can grab some shields and most importantly, get this Trevenant within a manageable health range, that's the goal here. And they are quite bold, quite brave, letting all this damage go through. Now we are finally grabbing shields, and we will let this go at this point. Not going to give them a shield advantage. They can take us out, no problem. And they aggro swap. They blind swap into a Swampert onto our Cresselia. Holy smokes. That's why the Ultra League, it's a different animal than the Great League, guys. There's such a small margin of error in this meta. And that's just because Pokemon hit a lot harder and they are a lot bulkier. And we did grab a shield with the threat of the Grass Knot. It does one-shot Shadow Swampert. And we will shield here to preserve some health on our Cresselia. Just the Hydro Cannon, but no big deal. Gonna look to just overload a little bit and go for this Grass Knot here on the Swampert. It is gonna go down to a Grass Knot for sure. Swampert does not like grass, which is why you'll want Legacy Grass Knot on your Cresselia, just because there are so many Swamperts in this meta, guys. It's insane to not run Grass Knot. And they've got a Cresselia of their own. We keep farming, anticipating a potential catch. They were trying to make us waste our energy on this low health Trevenant. Not going to happen. We're taking it out with a resisted Sacred Sword. And now we are going to just spam this thing with as many Stone Edges as we can possibly get to. We are going for Stone Edge number 1 on the Cresselia. It slowly but surely chips away at this bulky Pokemon here. And we are going to look to get off another Stone Edge. And we actually want to stall the clock a bit. This will not KO. That's the power of Cobalion. It's insane. The bulk on this thing combined with the coverage and moveset. Oh, so good. So good. We do get off that Stone Edge. And we are going to pivot into our own Cresselia. We do have the health advantage. But they do have some energy here. And we are quite confident that we can take this Cresselia out. No problem. I'm seeing that it's basically within Moonblast plus Grass Knot range. Another reason why you definitely want Grass Knot. Much more energy efficient. Allows you to get off some damage if you really need to get to a move in a pinch, guys. And we do. We're saying bye-bye to the Cresselia. And we are closing out the game with our own Cresselia. You love to see it. Good game. Well played. Oh, team number 1 from my top 5 best teams was so good, guys. This thing was racking up the wins left and right. But here we go. Not such a good lead in the form of a Alolan Muck, but it is running Poison Jab, which is resisted by us. And we are running Dragon Breath for these dark types and normal types. So we can actually put up a fight here on the lead. We go for that Dragon Claw. I really wanted to catch this Dark Pulse, but we're going to tank it. We can tank it, no problem. And we force them to aggro swap into their own Giratina. So now we will meet this with our Cresselia. With the Giratina on your opponent's team, you kind of have to tag team it a little bit between your own Cresselia and your Giratina, as Cobalion does not do so hot up against Giratina. Although it can fight back with the Stone Edges, it really depends on the Giratina's health and the shielding scenario. And this one is running Dragon Breath, so it is much better for us. We are not taking super effective fast move pressure here, which is allowing us to hang in this matchup a little bit longer, guys. We're going for another Moonblast, and this will KO if they let this go. They know that, so they shield. That is amazing. And we're going to try our best to get to one more Moonblast. We do. They did not throw their energy. They were trying to farm us down. and they let it go. So not only do they go down with energy, but they basically wasted a shield. That is going to work out beautifully for us because we can now align our Cobalion onto that Alolan Muck. But they don't stick around for that. They aggro swap back into a Scrafty. So we're going to look to chip here. No, we pressure a shield. That works too. We now have a 2-shield advantage for our Cobalion. Cobalion, quite bulky, doesn't necessarily need shields, but hey, if you can give it a 2-shield advantage, it can do some insane things in this Ultra League meta. And we are about to find out right here, guys. We're going for this Sacred Sword. It does not quite KO, as Scrafty is quite bulky. And I'm going to shield up this power-up punch here and look to get rid of the Scrafty. We cannot quite farm down. These boosted counters are absolutely shredding us. We're just going to throw the Sacred Sword here and take out the Scrafty. We're fine doing this because we know that we absolutely hard wall this Alolan Muck. There are very few Pokemon that can hard wall a Alolan Muck quite as well as a Cobalion, guys. We double resist this fast move pressure. They go for the double resisted acid spray, and we hang on long enough to get to the Stone Edge. We're saying bye-bye to the Alolan Muck. I was not sure if that would KO. Alolan Muck is quite bulky, but like I said, guys, Cobalion is the real deal and sweeps yet another end game. Good game, well played. Team number 1, I gotta say, guys, probably one of the best teams you could possibly run right now in this meta. But here we go. XL Noctowl. Holy smokes. Was not expecting to see something like this, but this is exactly why we're running Dragon Breath on the lead here. I just see way too many normal types for my liking to run the Shadow Claw. But again, really does depend on what you're seeing a lot of. Generally, Shadow Claw is the way to go. Gonna shield this up, and they bait us with a Sky Attack. You never, that never feels too good, but that's okay. We're gonna press on here and go for another Dragon Claw. They can definitely tank that, but they're gonna have a tough time tanking another one. And we're gonna let this next move go through. We know that we tank a Shadow Ball, but they usually go right for it, right off. People rarely bait for some reason in the Ultra League. And we're going to go for this Dragon Claw here. It would basically, yeah, that would KO for sure. And they're going to look to the win lead here and go for a Sky Attack, and we're fine with that. We're going to let this go and actually come in with our Cobalion and look to farm down. It is not making it to another move, and we will see what they have in the back. We do have an energy lead here. They are thinking long and hard. And they've got a Trevenant, so that's fine. Going to go for the Stone Edge here. Trevenant can definitely tank one. Does about 50% of its health, as Trevenant is not known for its bulk. And going to just look to play this out. They can go Shadow Ball all they want. Like I said, Cobalion, quite bulky, tanks it pretty well. Long enough to allow us to get to another Stone Edge here, and we're going for it. It's going to be interesting to see if they want to go down on shields here. And they don't. They let that go. So we're aggro swapping into our Cresselia, getting ahead on energy, and they've got a Dragon Breath Tina of their own in the back. So we did get that energy lead on them, which will do quite well for us here. Going to go for this Moonblast. They let it go. They're going to have a really difficult time tanking another one. We know that. So we're going to let this go. Whatever it is, does not matter. It does very little damage. Because Cresselia is super bulky. We know that they cannot tank too, and I think that they know that. So we're actually going to bait here, and we grab the shield. We successfully bait. You'll love to see it. And now we are primed to get off another Moonblast, and it will KO. We probably should have shielded here. This might have been a little bit foolish. We do let that go. It's foolish because that Trevenant is still alive in the back, but gonna go for this Moonblast and say bye-bye to the Giratina, and now we throw Cobalion in here and we fire it down with double resisted, double kicks. Holy smokes, this thing is insane. It's so good, my goodness. Sweeping yet another endgame for us. You'll love to see it. And that is the team, my friends. Cobalion, the real deal. I slept on it last season, but I will never make that mistake again, guys. This thing is here to stay. It's so good, so bulky, has an amazing moveset with amazing coverage, and an amazing typing. That steel typing, quite effective in this meta for sure. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.